Hello, Happy New Year. As it is the last day of the year today when I'm recording this, I thought I would sit down and go through the last year's worth of videos. Not everyone, we're not going to be here for ages, but I got a notification from YouTube a couple of days ago saying, congrats, your channel's a year old, and I didn't post the first video until the end of January, I don't think, but this has basically been going on for the whole of 2024. So I thought it'd be quite cool if we could just sit down, grab a snack, grab a cuppa, and just watch through some of the old videos. So I've got my laptop down here. I'll just go through a variety of different videos and we'll just react to them, reminisce, I'll find some funny parts. Okay, so here is the channel. First of all, 4.3 thousand subscribers. Thank you. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That is in a year. Content has definitely changed. I've been able to ramp up the quality, which is very nice. Or which video do I start with? Do I start with the very first one? That seems like a good idea. My owner's ride and review. Let's do that.
Hello.
Hi.
I've tried to film a vlog before. It didn't quite go to plan. So I'm testing out this helmet mount and we'll see how it goes. And I'm also hoping that my
The first thing I see, alright, not only the wonky mirrors, which a lot of people were annoyed about, but also we've got cable ties down here which I haven't cut off. And then my broken gear lever from when I dropped my bike on a roundabout. Great start. Well done. You can definitely see the change in quality. So this was using the GoPro on its standard GoPro setting. I don't even think I had it on ultra wide view. I don't know. I mean, all in all, it's not bad. I mean, it's still got like 2,000 views or something, and the comments seem to be quite nice. But there's a definite difference, isn't there?
and walking around that way.
Go on, get the revs up.
It's just joining the dual carriageway.
Why am I catching myself doing lifesavers whilst I'm watching this?
Next, if you're
That speedo looks a bit funny.
looking at the Ninja 250, and I hope you can hear me. I hope it's alright. You're not looking at the most powerful A2 bike you can get, you know? You're very well aware.
A lot of my points in that video still stand, to be fair. I quite like, other than the quality of it, I think it's a pretty decent first video. I'm not cringing too much. Alright, maybe some words I use are a bit not me, but yeah, it's not too bad. Baby Noxie. Before she had her problems. She's fine, by the way. She's just getting basically a service and her radiator needs replacing, which is why I'm not riding it at the moment. Some of you have noticed the temperature gauge going a bit funny in recent videos. That's why. Yeah, she was not happy with me. Should be getting her fixed on Friday. And then I'll take her out for a spin. Hopefully she feels like a brand new bike, which will be very nice. Okay, so that was the first video. I've made a lot this year. Blimey. That was the first video. Breaking in new tyres. I remember that. They felt... Some people say their tyres don't feel too slippy. Others, like me, those definitely felt like... I didn't have a slip, so to speak, but the second I just turned out the junction, the first junction I did on that ride was just... I was like, oh, these tyres feel different. But then I was on really rubbish ones before. Let's go to the video that basically kicked off the channel. 23,000 views. Video number 5, and it kicked off. And it didn't kick off straight away. I think it took like a couple of months. Are you going to make me watch another video? These YouTubers are monetizing their videos. Please watch them.
So I have with me Olivia.
Oh yeah, and it's not even the best quality video because I left this smudge on the camera the entire time. I remember turning up to this and just seeing so many bikes, and I was like, oh my, like this was the first ride out I ever did in, you know, in big bike volumes. Previous to that, I'd only ridden with a couple of mates, and then I turned up to this and I was like, oh my god. Everyone was lovely. It was a great day, but it was daunting to turn up and be like, right, okay, I'm relatively new. You know, I'd been riding a couple of months at that point, 3 or 4 months. and there's a lot of people there, and me and Olivia were the only women, obviously. But we had a great time, and had good fun filming this, obviously good fun editing it. And then a couple of weeks after it had launched, I think, it started picking up views like crazy. I don't know why. There's nothing special about it.
I like this. I like following. I'm not such a big fan of leading. Not right now. I need to learn. I'm a newbie.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable leading now. I still prefer not to. I prefer to just turn my brain off and follow someone else, but Katie often likes to follow me, so I end up being the one that leads. Yeah, I remember parking up and you see everyone walking their bikes back.
Can I push it back? No.
I have to get off and push it back.
Oh my lord, that's a H2.
Two Flags is a good place to go and see bikes. I've seen quite a few H2s and boosters there now. See, that's only a 6-minute video, and it just kicked off the channel. And then it didn't catapult us to 4,000 subscribers, but it gave us like maybe 500 or so. And then obviously consistency with the other ones paid off, which is nice. Right, let's find a duo one, because they're my favourite. This one.
Claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic! It's a latch. Sorry, I can't stop inside. Sorry. I can't stop. Sorry. I'm literally wobbling.
This bit still makes me laugh. She was behind me as well.
Yeah, out of either the bikes. The Honda definitely doesn't. It's like 25 years old. Yeah. Right. Well, you sort of know where you're going anyway, don't you? I'm here! We just can't. You're going to work. Let's go. Right, do you want me to carry on going? No, yeah, you go. And I'm coming. I did legal U-turn. That was funny. Sorry. I don't know what got into me there. It's just the way you shot back, and then you're on the roundabout. Oh, that's tickling throat now. She's okay. Hello! Jesus Christ! What a mess! Oh, I was going to work!
For some reason, that cracks me up every single time. It's just... my best friend's funny, what can I say? It just makes... This video's like 8 months old, it still makes me laugh. Let's pick something else. I'm going to go back again. We'll just go through them in chronological order. So what did we do? We did the chaotic video. Let's do this one. So this was 7 months ago, and I know this was when I was debating what to do for the second year of A2.
Hello.
Hello. My mirrors are still wonky.
And I thought I'd do it.
Oh yeah, so we've changed from recording the audio with Cardo to recording with Purple Panda mic. We're still on the old GoPro. It's funny, you can see the vlog setup change as the videos go on.
Sort of our bike plans, because we've had some questions. So first things first, we, as in both me and Katie, have A2 licenses, which means we can ride any bike up to 47 horsepower. I've currently got a Ninja 250, which is 32 horsepower. And Katie
36 on the dyno.
CBR 300 is very similar to that. This video might just turn into a ramble of me hating on the A2 license because I do think it is stupid the way the licensing is set up. I don't mind the different restrictions, but personally it's the fact that we have to retake the same tests just on different bikes to unlock these different licenses. Like, take my...
Yeah, I still agree there, and I've mentioned it in future videos as well. I don't mind the tiered licenses, although I think the gap between 19 and 24 is a bit big for, you know, restrictions. But it's the fact that you have to retake the tests, even on, I know I said different bikes there, but even like the school closest to me use Z650s for both tests, just one of them is restricted. So you go back and do the test on the same bike when the restriction doesn't affect really the bike until you get to the top end, which you're not going to be doing anyway because it's past the speed limit. Just on the same bike for the same test 2 years later. So here were the ideas I was playing with.
Until our A license, or when we get...
Right, let's go back.
We stay on these bikes for 2 years.
Yeah.
Until our A license, or when we get a year of no claims discount on our insurance, and some insurance prices of larger bikes becomes a bit more appealing, we upgrade. Current plan is that second one, because I do love this bike, but it can feel underpowered at times, and I'd like to be able to take my A license test on my own bike, which requires me to have one that suits those requirements, because it's got to be a minimum of 595 cc's and a couple of other things. So I've got that to take into account. Currently I think my number one spot for a bike is a Ninja 650, just because I love the Ninjas, can you tell? And quite good for someone my size. It can be restricted for A2 obviously, and then it can be unrestricted for A. Yes, I know it's not the most powerful bike you can get on A2, and we are also considering the Honda CBR 650R, which is one of the most...
Okay, so there was my plans 7-8 months ago. That's what I was thinking about. And obviously it depends on various factors. First of all, I was thinking my 1 year's no claims discount would bring down my insurance prices more than it did. It's not. Also, I thought switching to another A2 bike would be sensible, and now I'm thinking, well, I'm definitely not switching now unless something horrendously goes wrong with Noxie. I'm just keeping that bike for 2 years, and yes, the bike does feel underpowered compared to other bikes, but at the end of the day, it's not worth me spending 4 or 5 grand on a Ninja 650 to increase my insurance prices just so I can get an unrestricted bike for my A license, when I wouldn't want to stay on that after I pass my A license test, because it's not got enough it's not a bike I want to get. I remember going on to, we'll go to this video in a minute actually. In fact, no, let's tie old versus new videos. Let's go to the tour of Motorcycle Live about a month ago. I like this because it's like a little diary. I can see my whole journey over the past year. Okay, finding dream bikes I can't afford at Motorcycle Live. So when we got to Motorcycle Live, obviously I went to the Kawasaki stand and I saw several different Ninjas, and this sort of solidified my opinion that a 650 isn't going to be my next bike. So, in a world where I can afford a brand new bike and insurance, this ZX4 would probably be at the top of my list for A2, because first of all, it wouldn't need to be adjusted for someone my size, which is great, and second, I've heard very, very good things about it. People say it's a really fun bike. Obviously it redlines really high, you've got that inline 4, but it's still a really petite bike, and obviously A2 applicable. The downside is you wouldn't be able to unrestrict it and use it for your A2 test or A license test because it's not got enough CCs, but it would be great fun. But as I say in the video, by the time that becomes feasible in terms of affordability, I'll be able to have a ZX6 or something else. So I know some people like the smaller displacement bikes, and I would still love to test ride one of these. I might be able to do it next year, because if I find an A2 applicable one, then it's completely legal for me to test ride it. But I wouldn't see that as an A license bike for me, I don't think. I know everyone says small bikes are fun. But I've had 2 years on a small bike by that point, and I feel like I need to go slightly bigger in terms of power and, well, everything about the bike before knowing what I prefer. But anyway, that was the first Ninja I saw that day, and I was very, very impressed with it. Really, really, like, this, yeah, Kawasaki did good with that one. Look at that.
That's manageable for me. I'm convincing myself. It's comfy. I like that. I don't want to get on it on the wrong side. That feels wrong. Noticeably lower. That's very happy. One sec. On one side. You are? This is less comfortable for me than the other. It's more forward. It's not bad, but I can feel myself like fall down. It would just need to be lowered.
I'm not gonna lie. After that day at Motorcycle Live, yes, the ZX4 stuck in my head, but so did this. Absolutely beautiful bike. And I've sat on older ZX6s, and the handlebars have been a little bit trickier for me to reach, and I've considered, like, oh, if that was my bike, then I'd need to not only lower it, but probably tamper with the handlebars as well. This one I got on, I was like, oh my god. It's when you're accustomed to sitting on a bike and knowing something has to change with it, you're pleasantly surprised when you don't, which is why I think I was so drawn to the ZX4. When I sat on this and all I would need to do is lower it, I was like, oh my god, this is a dream bike for me. I was so happy. I was so happy. Again, something that new probably wouldn't be within my price bracket for November, but god, was it a pretty bike? Was it a pretty bike? Wow. Anyway, let's move on to the 650.
I've got decisions to make.
You do indeed.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's low. That's both feet down.
So the 650, and I'm going to be completely honest, just obviously I've not ridden this, I haven't seen how it, acts on the road. I'm sure it is a brilliant bike. It's a Kawasaki, obviously it is. But in terms of comfort for me, yes, it was comfortable, but it was almost too upright for a sport bike, in my opinion, because it's like a sport tourer. You can see how high the handlebars are. You can see how low the seat is. They've sort of accounted for that, or what's the word, countered the low seat with a very high tail to make it look quite aggressive. But then you actually sit on it and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm riding a naked bike, but it's dressed as a sport bike. This was going to be my switch. I was going to trade in Noxie for one of these. And now I'm like, no. No. I'm glad a lot of you said on that old video, I'm glad you said, no, stick with the bike you have and save up for something you can't get on the A2 license. I'm glad you said that, because I think I would have regretted getting rid of my 250, just to upgrade to a 650 to restrict it, and then feel lacking in power again when I get my A license. So that opinion has obviously changed over the past year. And even when I said, oh, I feel underpowered, I wasn't pushing the bike to its limits. I felt underpowered at the end of summer, but at the beginning, no. I still have a lot to learn on my bike. Mostly how to take care of it so it doesn't have breakdowns like it's having at the moment. But yeah, I am sticking with the plan of saving up for a bike I genuinely want in November, rather than swapping out for something that is, yeah, I like that, and facing the consequences of higher bike price, higher insurance price, and then once I get the A license, I'm restricting it to a whole, what is the Ninja 650, like 67 horsepower? No. I know sometimes videos like this, you get the occasional comment where it's like, well, why are you just filming yourself sitting on loads of bikes, blah, blah, blah. But again, the reason why I wanted to start this channel was because as someone who is very short and you're trying to get into motorcycling, and this goes with any, you know, if you're really tall and you want to ride sport bikes or anything like that, you then look for others of a similar nature to see how they do it. And I noticed that space was kind of lacking. So I wanted to, first of all, document obviously my journey, but also other people can see, okay, well, I'm 5 foot or I've got a 27-inch and see what do I look like on these bikes and how does that compare to them. Oh yeah, so we did AT licenses, had the bit where my clutch cable was, oh yeah, my switcher and helmet. I still have that helmet and I want to get a hook on the wall to display it because I really liked that helmet. It's a real big shame that it broke. If you don't know, the visor locking mechanism, or, you know, the thing that moves the visor up and down, it broke. When I tried to fix it, the bolt inside it broke and it just made it completely useless. And I thought, well, if that's broken on the helmet, I don't really know how I feel about riding around in it and using that as my safety. So I switched, and then I'm using the Scorpion one now, which I do like. I do like that helmet, but I like my paintwork on the old one more. I think that's what it is. Let's do another duo video. Helmet confidence.
Recording started. Taking loud, man. Just focus in you. I'm not gonna put that bit in the video. No, I'll get in trouble again. You were raging. I told him the text at work, and he was like, oh wait, 1 second. Holding your helmet up. Yeah. I'm a silly goose. You silly goose! Mirror signal maneuver. Can people hurry up? I'm like overheating. Right, which exit?
I love the leathers. I feel very safe riding with them. However, come next summer, you're not going to be catching me in them again. I had enough with overheating. And yes, they look great, but I'm going to be investing in some sort of mesh gear, probably Nox or Pandamoto. Just the feeling of knowing when you stop, you're just going to be drenched in this like heat wave. Oh no, I'm not doing that again. No. It's bad enough when you feel stuffy in your helmet.
Second? Have you been practicing downshifting yet? Not really. It's quite fun to do.
That's something I'll do. Harry, the Honda, is currently sawn, just because Katie, our schedules are not aligning very well, and she's not a fan of riding in the cold. She will be back, but probably not when it's like this outside. So we've just sawn for a couple of months, but when we're back on the road, I'll be teaching her some stuff, because I feel confident to teach her a few bits. I'm not a professional. I think I'm out of the beginner stage now, and I have more miles under my belt. So off camera probably, because that's a lot of pressure to learn stuff on camera, but I will hopefully be teaching her some skills, because she wants to learn downshifting, or rev matching as we downshift and other things. So that'll be fun. I can't wait to go back out for a ride together, but it's just not been possible recently. Hopefully you don't mind the solo videos, because obviously I can't, otherwise I just won't post. And I like editing these videos too much, and she wanted me to sort of continue things on. She's my biggest supporter, honestly, but it's just not possible for us to film together at the moment. I might see if she wants to come out for a pillion ride, because that might be a bit, obviously Harry's very tucked away at the moment, under blankets in a garage, taken good care of, but it's just not possible for her to go out for a ride at the moment. Yeah, maybe I will drag her out for a pillion ride. That'd be fun.
Diagonal. Get that in the background. Where? Just listen. Right, you're trying to get me to do a U-turn. No, it's not happening. And then they lean in together. Oh wait, no. They won't. They lean the same side. They're bikes. It's a very, interesting background. Yeah, look, the sky. Get off the bike and watch me. Loud. Get off the bike! Watch me! turning the Cardo right.
I swear we share all of our brain cells. This is not... we just bicker. Oh yeah, that was when she was trying to take photos of the bikes, and then we sat on each other's bikes. I've not ridden Harry the Honda out for a little while.
Shape though. Yeah, yours is a weird shape. Don't diss my bike. I actually can't get both feet down at the same time on this now, because my boots are new. I think they need to come closer together. I hate your stand. I actually hate your stand. What is that? It's not a stand. It's a toothpick.
I do want to fix that stand. Oh, it's just... everyone who has seen the CBR out and about, they're like, wow, it's sitting very upright. It does. And it always stresses me out. When it was staying in my garage, because my garage has got quite a bit of a slope on it, we used to hang a kettlebell from one of the foot pegs on the side of the stand, so that we knew the bike wasn't going to topple over. Yeah, that was not fun. Oh, the Piston Club. Been there a couple of times. Good times. I miss these bike meets. Went to Stony Cove, went to Piston Club, did the RGS one. Just, it's probably the worst thing about winter riding is the fact that there's barely any social events, and they're just not as fun. Obviously, you can't just go and sit and look at bikes for hours on end, because it's dark and it's cold and it's probably raining. This night ride was fun though. Oh yeah, I was following Olivia, and we were meeting up with a little group of us that then went off and rode to the Piston Club. The worst part, I love these meets, but the worst part of it is when you turn up, especially when it's busy. We're a bit later this time than we were the previous time, and you've got to ride through the grass with loads of people looking at you.
God, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it.
Lovely people there though, giving you the pucks to put your bike down. I'm going to include this in the video just to annoy Olivia. So a smaller group of us on the ride home, but a lot of fun. It was a long ride. It was a long ride. Oh yeah, I get kill switched. I think Olivia left a bit of the way through. Yeah, very funny, very funny. I even just miss these night rides. Actually going out in the night, not being cold.
We're actually heading back now.
I can't wait for summer. I can't wait. And it's not even properly winter. I mean, we're properly in winter, but we've got several more months of it. What else should we look at? Do you know what does do well? Are these more like video essay ones, which I quite like making, because I like having a point, because then I feel like I'm not rambling and causing people to be bored. But things like the downsides of motorcycling, the insurance companies, like those videos have done really well, and you seem to really like them. So if you have more topics you'd want me to talk about, then let me know, because I'm always happy to do them if I think I can put something valuable towards it. Then I had the Range Rover video. The thing is with these videos is I don't like to post a lot of road incident. I don't really experience a lot of road incident videos that I think are worthy of posting about anyway, but stuff like this I wouldn't post without a lot of context, because I feel like that's just, yes, it would get a lot of views, but also I want people to make assumptions based on the context they have rather than the context they don't have. So I tried to turn this into more of like a, here's what I did and here's what I do differently and here's what you can look out for if you're new. And thankfully most people took it that way. There's always going to be some people that don't like when you post this stuff, but
I now don't like not having a camera on when I ride, because like you never know when something's gonna happen.
oh, the foreshadowing. Yeah, I could post, I could go out looking for incidents like this to post and you'd probably get a lot of views, but I don't like to post too much negativity. I wouldn't necessarily call this negative. I think this is more informative, but I prefer the laughing and the positive vibes, and there can be a lot of negativity around, and there can be a lot of stupid drivers around, and sometimes it really does sort of make you lose your faith in humanity, but sometimes I like to sing in my helmet, and then I end up editing these videos and I'm like, oh my god, I sound awful. Yeah, sometimes I just want to put something positive out there. And other times, I think I was running low on videos anyway. I had this and I was sort of like sitting on it for a little while and wondering whether I should do something with it. And I thought, I know what I'll do in terms of videos. Here's how I'm going to make it something that I would be comfortable uploading. Nothing wrong with posting, you know, stuff that is more this kind of stuff centric without the context in it as well. But for me personally, I like to over explain. Have you not noticed that by now? The last ride of summer. Let's just put some of this on whilst we talk about the intro. Yeah, let's watch an advert. Monetization. Yay. How cool is that though? I started posting at the end of January and by April, I think, I was monetized. That's insane. That's insane. Look at the blue skies. Look at the blue skies. Look at the green. Look at the dry roads. I miss summer. I really do miss summer. We'll get there again. We'll have another summer where we'll go on some new roads. I want to go to the Peak District, probably Wales as well, because of the Make Your Mark charity. More meets, more people, and just in general good times. So over the past year, I mean, some opinions have changed. Some of my opinions on bikes have changed. Opinions on what my future bikes would be have changed a bit. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to 2025 and what that brings. So I'm grateful for all of your support and hopefully we have a very good year. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next year. Goodbye.